Oh, hey there. Late night commentary. So, just counting the days. In 4 days, I basically traveled roughly around 24 hours. 24 hours, obviously, is a day in case you guys are horrible at math. In which case I am too, but, you know, basic stuff. So that's 24 hours of travel. First leg, or the first third, was on Friday. Driving around 6 hours up from Los Angeles to Stockton, where I go to school. 4 days later, or 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, 5 days later, Tuesday night, or technically Tuesday afternoon, go back down for the second third of the 24 hours of travel from Stockton to Los Angeles. You know why? Because, oh my god, I'm a U.S. citizen now. In case you didn't know, I wasn't born in the U.S. Trying to reschedule the whole, oath ceremony thing at the end of this your citizenship application is like harder than, what's a really bad analogy I could use here? It's like trying to fail your health class. You just can't. But yeah, it was harder than that. That and then be home like literally for 6 or 7 hours, and then go to Los Angeles, become a U.S. citizen. God bless America, stuff like that. America, yeah. After that, get ready for a third leg of travel all the way back up. Now, this is where things get interesting. Because, see, I was watching PKA earlier. If you guys don't know, PKA is a podcast run by, Woody's Gamertag, FPS Kyle, which everyone knows now is FPS Russia. In case you guys didn't know that, you're stupid. And now Mercadurga, after having some host migrations. But anyways, I digress. What am I talking about? PKA ain't my PKA, or podcast, whatever. I was watching their most recent PKA podcast, and there was this one part where they talked about Chiz going cross country on a Greyhound bus, and they were all bashing Greyhound like, oh man, only the scum of the earth ride it. I mean, it's not that bad. Most people, I've ridden Greyhound for like the past 3 years now, and people aren't terrible. There are, I should say, shady characters here or there, but other than that, people who ride are pretty decent. They're pretty nice. Personally, I haven't had any issue with anyone like riding on board, but this time is a different story. As we're going up from Los Angeles to Stockton, keep in mind our bus has people going from LA to not only just Stockton but also to Sacramento, San Francisco, and the bus itself was actually going to go all the way up to Canada after switching a couple drivers and stuff like that. So I don't know how many people there were actually going to go to Canada to buy some maple syrup. I don't know, but jokes aside, that was pretty bad. Halfway through, there's one lady. She's sitting across the aisle from me, like just on the other side of the bus. She's not really that far away. She's on the window seat. I'm on the aisle seat. She's on the other side. We did have to take a quick break, like an unauthorized break or whatever the driver said, and he said if whoever wants to take a quick smoke break outside, you better do it now. So there are those people who do smoke, but out of decency they don't smoke inside. So I noticed this one woman go out with presumably I assume to be her boyfriend, and to take a quick puff, and we come back in. No big deal. 10 minutes later, or 15 minutes later, I noticed her, she's constantly getting up and down the aisle. I'm just like, the fuck are you doing, bitch? Well, I didn't actually say that, but, it's just like, it's kind of weird. It's kind of odd seeing someone constantly get up from their seat, out to the aisle, walk down the aisle, come back into her seat for no apparent reason. Like, what the hell are you doing? Like, walking up and down all the time. Like, she wasn't like, initially I thought she was like talking to someone, like down the aisle. But then again, if you were going to do that, or if you're going to constantly walk up and down the aisle, why did you just take a seat right next to the person you're trying to talk with? Anyways, I digress. So, finally she actually does get up this one last time, and this time, I'm just like, okay. So I just turn around, like, kind of like this in my seat. Turn around like that and just give her a long, hard stare. And then I watch her walk into the bathroom. Mind you, before this happens, just by looking at her, you can tell she's kind of a stoner. So, with that in mind, I was like, shit. Sure enough, 20 minutes later, there's, like, cigarette smoke, spreading throughout the bus, and then someone ends up telling the driver, and then the bus driver, like, stops in the middle of the highway, and is like, shit goes down, You're not supposed to smoke in the back of Greyhound bus, or any bus for that matter, because that's a federal offense. And if you do, you're actually legitimately retarded. After that, we do. When we did stop on the highway, the bus driver really wasn't sure how to handle the situation because apparently he's been a veteran driver. He's been driving the ground bus for like 15 years or so. 15 years, over nearly 1,000,000 miles. So I guess that says something, right? So, but this is the first time. This is the first time this has ever happened to him, or especially me. So it's kind of interesting to see how things unfolded, despite the fact that overall our trip was delayed by 2 hours. Great news, but whatever, I can deal with that. So on the way to a nearby bus or like a rest stop or whatever, like a gas station, rest stop, pit stop, whatever. The bus driver decides that he's just gonna, get the popo involved, the police involved in this. So he just dials 911 as soon as we get to the race. Or actually, I think he dialed 911 on our way there because the police like showed up really quick, like inhumanely quick right after we stopped the bus stop. Like, I go right after we stop, I go into the bathroom, come back out, like 3 police cars, like 3 patrol cars are already there. Like, holy shit, are they Superman or something? See, I guess the moral of the story here, I'm really bad at giving morals of the story because I'm not the person to turn to get morals of any kind of story or whatever. But turns out that the woman, girl, whatever, who smoked in the bathroom, was actually legitimately stupid. And I'm not trying to accuse her of being a pothead or anything, but I guess all those years of smoking damn, her mind was just out there. Apparently, what the bus driver told the rest of the passengers after the police were talking with her and him, the bus driver, that is, just they could tell she was just like out there. Her mind wasn't there. Like it was further out than someone, like an MLB player hitting a home run out of a baseball stadium. It was that out there, and apparently she had blabbed on for a little bit too much, and they found out that that wasn't her only offense. And apparently she had a couple other charges underneath that, just exactly what they were. They didn't go into detail, but the point is that she had a couple of run-ins with the police already, so that doesn't help her at all. That, and apparently when they told her to get her stuff out of the bus, she went through some other people's stuff and apparently stole a phone charger. Problem is, she stole a Samsung phone charger, and her phone is an LG. So, don't do drugs, kids. I mean, you probably already knew that. If you do, but you do drugs anyway, you're kind of stupid. But, I hope all of you knew that already. Because if you don't, it's kind of too late for you now. So yeah, personally, I don't care if you smoke, pot, cigarettes, whatever. I mean, that's fine. If you want to get high, that's fine too. As long as you're not hurting me or anyone else. I'm cool with it. But, you don't smoke in the back of a Greyhound bus. You don't. You don't. You just don't. There are a couple things that are pretty stupid that you can do. One of which is to smoke, because you're basically poisoning yourself over a course of 20 or so odd years. Slowly killing yourself by giving yourself lung cancer and shit like that. If you don't get lung cancer after smoking for 30 years, like my dad got away with, then you're either very lucky or I don't know. Isn't there a saying that says, like, if you're stupid, you get away with a lot of things? I don't know. Apparently, she did. That person didn't. She was legitimately really damn stupid and didn't really get away with much there, did she? But anyways, don't smoke, kids. Be smart. And, yeah, don't smoke in the back of a Greyhound bus.